the right hemisphere of your brain, which is feminine. They come together and create a beautiful idea that is sex. You're using sexual energy to create all of these things. So that's why they call it the sacral plexus or the sacral bone or the sacral chakra. You see what I'm saying? Now, notice what's happening here. If you look right here, you have discs. In between each disc, you have something called a vertebrae. These are vertebrae and these are discs. These discs are made with amino acids. You know, they're made with a lot of different types of beautiful amino acids. I'm going to show y'all that once we sit down. Now, notice the disc sits between the bones. And between these bones, you have holes in them where the nerves actually come out at. So we see the vertebrae, we see the actual disc, and then now we see the actual nervous system that's coming through the spinal column. Now, she said at L5, this is L5. It says that her L5 disc is completely gone and her L4 disc is completely gone. Well, if y'all see what this disc is doing, this is how you bend your lower back. This also supports your kidneys. You see how the disc is moving around? So imagine you moving around and these discs that acts as shocks absorbent is not there or not present inside of the body. You have bone now rubbing against bone. You see that you got calcium and magnesium and phosphorus and phosphates and all these different minerals and glasses running, just rubbing against each other and against nerves. You know that's going to hurt like hell. So what's actually being degenerative is the disc and the bone around here. So that means you have a lot of acids built up in the spinal column. Now, my whole question is this. When you eat food, food goes in through the mouth, through the digestive tract, and it have to work its way down before these acids are released inside of the actual digestive system, and then it goes down here. So this means for your body to actually have these type of pains and the bones is now grinding itself against each other, that means that the discs are missing. Not only is the discs are missing, but it's extreme acidosis and friction going on here that's causing you to actually, deteriorate the bones in the disc. So we're going to have to get rid of that. So just before I sit back down, I just want to show you this again. So this is L5, this is L4, L3, L2, L1. L5 is that last vertebrae right before you get to the sacral column, or what we're going to call the tail of the snake. You see that? That's in the back. You see the rattle tail? Then it goes all the way up, and then in between here you have all type of nerve endings. So say if the disc becomes inflamed because it is full of too many acids and this disc starts to pop out, what it does is it'll chew away at these bones here, and once it chew away at the bone, the disc will then bulge and start pushing the bone, and it'll pinch this nerve right here. And now you got nerve pinchings, and you got so much pain because the bone is now clamping the nerve endings. And this all starts from acidosis, family. All acidosis. All right? Now let me go back and we're going to show y'all this on the screen as well. We're going to show y'all this on the screen as well. Let me just refocus here. Refocus a little taste. All right, so now since y'all seen that, let me pull it up for y'all can actually see it on the screen. All right, so here go the discs. These are the discs right here. If y'all can see this on my screen, type in some nines and we're going to get it started. We're going to break everything down real quick. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to get rid of this. Y'all see these little yellow nerve endings that's coming from the holes or the vertebrae. Y'all see that? Y'all see the top part. The top part is a healthy disc. You see that the healthy disc is cool. And what the healthy disc is full of is amino acids. You got glycine, you got proline, and then you got hydroxyproline. These are amino acids that actually make up these discs. Now, whenever you're missing minerals or minerals are not being utilized by the adrenal glands properly, what happens is the disc will start missing these amino acids because minerals is what actually sticks amino acids together, which I'm going to show y'all. And then the disc will start falling apart because it's not creating the amino acid structures or what they call proteins that's need to make the disc. So now you constantly walking around and you're not producing these amino acids because you're missing minerals because you're mineral deficient. And now this disc starts dissipating and start disintegrating and start disappearing, and now you rubbing bone on top of bone, pinching nerves, and I'm telling y'all that hurt like hell. So that's what you're going through. So now look at the degenerative disc. Now notice the degenerative disc is actually missing all of what I was just talking about, which is the glycine, which is the proline, and which is the hydroxyproline, which makes up this basically silica-based absorption collagen, because it's what it is. It's like collagen that keeps that shock absorption. If you jump down, all of that energy have to be distributed to the body equally, for you won't feel it in an area more than another. So what this does, it absorbs all the energy and then it puts it out through the body equally in balance, right? Now imagine if you don't have these and it do that, due to acids chewing away at them. So when you look down, what you're seeing is acids, and you're seeing the lack of minerals, which is actually keeping these amino acid structures together to actually build this. All right. Now, in order to get rid of this, we see that you're dealing with extreme acidosis, right? Yes, brittle and dry bones, lack of hydration. Another thing, hydration is very, very key. Your body is made of 80% water. The brain is made of 92% water by itself. So the body needs constant hydration, but minerals are hydrative. Water is not even hydrative, y'all. I tell y'all all the time that water is slightly acidic. You know, you're dealing with 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. What actually makes water alkaline is the minerals or the electrolytes that come into the water. That's what gives you your hydration. Electricity gives you your hydration. It's not water. Water is not even wet. You see what I'm saying? When you really get into what water is not even wet. Water is nothing but less dense thoughts. Water is nothing but less dense air. That's all it is. You know, you get more into oxygen and hydrogen. These things are not wet at all when you really think about them. What makes the water hydrative and what makes it full of electrolytes is the minerals that's associated with the water that's inside of the liquid, y'all. So you can drink water all day. If it lacks minerals, then you're gonna drink yourself to dehydration. Literally. We see this happen all the time. They be like, well, I drink water every day. Then the doctor will tell you dehydrated because you're not drinking water with the right amount of minerals in them, because you need minerals for electricity, or what you call alkaline electrolytes. And not only do you need it for that as well, you need it to help build your amino acid structures to keep your body together, because that's what creates the body structure and function. The amino acid creates the body, the structure of it, and the electricity create the functioning of the structure. Hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you need to go on an all-fruit diet. I'm going to just tell you that off back. That's going to bring the hydration in. That's also going to bring all the amino acids you need in, but you're going to have to go after the kidneys and the adrenals, because you already backing up too much acids anyway. And what's crazy is the kidneys actually sit right on top of this right here. So where you need to filtrate at is right here. The kidneys are right here. You know, your L5 is right here. Your L5 and your L4 is what's giving you all the problems. The kidneys right here. This means you are backed up miles and miles of interstitial fluid of lymph, and this lymph is just backed up, and all of the accumulated acid is burning you. You got to remember, what the body does not eliminate, it accumulates. This accumulation creates agglomulation. This agglomulation creates coagulation. This coagulation creates tumor. It creates acid pockets and buildup, and these acids, pockets, and buildup then starts breaking down and deteriorating whatever in its path. If it's a bone in its path, it's going to break down that bone. If it's a disc in its path, it's going to break down that disc. If it's a cell in its path, it's going to corrupt and corrode the cell. I don't care what's in its way. That's what acid does, because it's destructive in nature. That's it. So you have to remove the acids that the body builds up. So you need to be on an all-fruit diet high in juices. That's what I would do. I'll get on an all-fruit diet, bring in my H3O2s, hydrate the body, get all the electrolytes in the body. I'll make sure that my fruits is completely organically grown. If you can't afford organically grown, then find you some good wild-crafted fruits that have seeds in them and go on a fruit fast. And while you're on this fruit fast, juice. And then while you're juicing, we have to start getting the right amount of amino acids back into the body. Well, you get a lot of amino acids from your fruits, and you also get a damn good amount from your herbs, or what we call vegetables. So this is where the herbs is going to play a good part at. You know, and what I'm going to recommend is my geogenetic level 1 therapeutic package, because it's so degenerative. You know, all of the silica and all of the glycine and all of the proline and the hydroxyproline amino acids are gone. We're going to have to bring them back in with herbs. And the best herbs that hold these actual amino acids here is the three bitters. Start getting the three bitters back in. We're going to have to go after the thyroid, because the thyroid is actually in control of your calcium buffering system, or what they call the calcium matrix, through the parathyroid that produces parathyroxine and parathyroid. This is going to help you actually elevate and excrete all the different calcium in the blood, because the blood is what's going to feed the bones all the minerals and oxygen it needs to regenerate itself. You see, life, oxygen, and alkalinity is the regenerative side of chemistry. So if you alkaline the body the best way you can regenerate these bones in these discs. You see that? But you didn't only have that going on with you. Hold on, this. Let me show y'all another picture. Just how it look. Y'all see that? All that inflammation, lumbar degenerative disc disease. You see how the bones is just corroded around the disc, and now the bones functioning structure is just starting to look crazy, and it's starting to pinch the disc. The disc end up leaking all of its liquids and everything that it's made up of to resorb all of that shock. And then now what happens is it start bulging out the bones, and then the bones pinch a nerve, and then you done for. You know, ain't nothing like a pinched nerve, y'all. Imagine your bones and your disc pinching one of these nerves right here. Boy, that hurt like hell. It'll bring you down. It'll bring you down. So an all-fruit diet, that's what I recommend. The geogenetic therapeutic package level 1 is what I'm going to recommend. And get about 2-3 bitters, because the glycine, the proline, and the hydroxyproline, which is the amino acids that's going to rebuild that collagen or that cartilage, is actually what's in the 3 bitters. Them are rebuilders. You know, berries are rebuilders. Melons are rebuilders. Apples are rebuilders. And that's why I'm stuck on freshly juiced apple juice and pear juice. I'm addicted to it, because they're rebuilders. And they're full of amino acids and electrolytes. They're full of it. So, and I want to show y'all something real quick of what I'm talking about. I want to show y'all something real fast. So, this is the best we can. We created a DNA model. You know, this is not the best of the best, but I mean, it looks good. You see that? And you see all these different, you know, all these different numbers, these different letters represents different things, you know, adenine, proline. You see that? All these different things makes up what you call amino acids. Now, amino acids is chains of information, and they wrapped around histones. This is all genetic information that makes up the biospiritual body. You see that? That's exactly what amino acids is. It's information. Now, around the information, you have something called sugars, and it's called a 5-pentose sugar phosphate backbone. So these black strips around this DNA structure is sugars that's actually holding the information together. That's how you know it's important that we have sugars. You see that? That's why it's called deoxy. Deoxy means that the oxygen is taken from it. You see that? Hydrochloric acid. You see that? So that deoxy is a sugar. You know what I'm saying? Ribose is a sugar. Ribose, deoxy, meaning the lack of oxygen. Ribose means sugar. Then you have the acid. Then you have something called ribose nucleic acid. You see that? So ribose is a sugar. These are nucleotides, nucleic acids. You see that? So notice you got the information, you know, whether your hair is going to be black or brown, whether your eyes is going to be black or brown, whether you're going to be tall, whether you're going to be spiritual, whether you're going to be intelligent, whether you're going to be this, be that, whether you're going to be in a fifth dimensional state when you're born, how deeply you can connect with the unseen or your ancestors, how quick that, you know, genetic information and just astral information can be fed to the DNA. Is all based off of how the DNA is structured and how healthy it is. That's the information. They call the information amino acids. Now, the question you're going to have to ask yourself this is, what makes amino acids actually stick to the backbone of what we're going to call the phosphate sugars? You see that? What makes the amino acids actually stick to the backbone, the sugar backbone, to create the structure? Minerals. So between this black, so say if I'm healthy, right? I'm healthy, my DNA is healthy, I got the best DNA in the world. And then all of a sudden I started eating acids, and these acids in these foods is missing minerals. Say if I start missing minerals in this full DNA structure, I live to be 16. I'm beautiful, I'm big, I'm built, I just look good, my DNA is thriving, my DNA